Sarah Bennett had everything the world told her mattered. A corner office on the 40th floor, a 7-figure salary, and a reputation that made boardrooms go silent when she spoke. But none of it could fix the one thing that broke her heart every single day. Her 6-year-old daughter Emma hadn't spoken a single word in over 2 years. Not since the accident that took her father's life. Sarah had tried everything. The best therapists, the most expensive specialists, gentle encouragement, and desperate pleas. But Emma remained locked in her silent world, and Sarah was running out of hope. On this particular Saturday afternoon, Sarah decided to take Emma to the neighborhood playground, hoping maybe the sight of other children laughing and playing might spark something, anything. She watched her daughter sit alone on a swing, gently rocking back and forth, her eyes distant and unreachable. Before we continue with this incredible story, I want to invite you to join our Kindness Hub family. If stories about the power of human connection and compassion touch your heart, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a moment of inspiration. Drop a comment below telling us about a time when a small act of kindness changed your day. And if this story moves you, give us a thumbs up. Now, let's get back to Sarah and Emma's story, because what happens next will absolutely amaze you. Sarah sat on a nearby bench, her designer suit looking completely out of place among the casual weekend wear of other parents. She was checking her phone, trying to distract herself from the familiar ache in her chest, when she noticed a man approaching Emma. Her protective instincts kicked in immediately, and she stood up, ready to intervene. The man was in his mid-30s, wearing faded jeans and a paint-stained shirt. His dark hair was slightly messy, and there was a gentleness in his eyes that made Sarah pause. He wasn't looking at Emma the way others did, with pity or curiosity about why she wasn't playing with the other children. He simply sat down on the swing next to her, not saying anything at first. Sarah watched, her heart pounding, as the man began to swing slowly, matching Emma's gentle rhythm. Then he did something unexpected. He started humming. It wasn't a recognizable tune, just a soft, melodic sound that seemed to float on the breeze. Emma's rocking slowed slightly. She turned her head just a fraction toward the stranger. The man continued humming for a few moments, then spoke in a voice so soft Sarah had to strain to hear. "You know, I have a daughter too. Her name is Lily, and she loves swings. She says they make her feel like she's flying, but she's too scared to go too high. I told her that sometimes the most beautiful things happen when we're a little bit scared." Emma's hands tightened on the chains of the swing. Sarah stood frozen, afraid that any movement might shatter whatever was happening. The man continued, his voice still gentle. "Lily doesn't talk much either, not to strangers anyway. But she taught me something important. She taught me that silence isn't always empty. Sometimes it's full of thoughts and feelings that are just looking for the right moment to come out. Sometimes it's full of words that are waiting for the right person to hear them." Sarah felt tears welling up in her eyes. This stranger understood something that all the expensive therapists had missed. He wasn't trying to fix Emma. He wasn't treating her silence as a problem to be solved. He was simply meeting her where she was. The man stood up from his swing and turned to face Emma directly. "I'm Marcus, by the way. I come here every Saturday with Lily. She's over there on the slide, the one with the pink backpack. Maybe you'd like to meet her sometime. She's really good at listening, even to the quiet stuff." Then Marcus did something that made Sarah's breath catch. He held out his hand to Emma, not insisting, not rushing, just offering. And Emma looked at that outstretched hand for a long moment. Sarah could see her daughter's internal struggle, the wall she'd built around herself warring with something else, something that Marcus had somehow awakened. Slowly, so slowly it seemed to take forever, Emma reached out and placed her small hand in Marcus's larger one. He helped her off the swing with such careful gentleness that Sarah felt something crack open in her chest. Marcus started walking toward the slide where a little girl with braids and a pink backpack was waiting. Emma went with him, her hand still in his. Sarah followed at a distance, her phone forgotten in her hand. She watched as Marcus introduced Emma to Lily, a sweet-faced girl who looked about 8 years old. Lily smiled at Emma and then, without any prompting, took Emma's other hand. The three of them stood there for a moment, and then Lily said something that Sarah couldn't hear. But she saw Emma nod. Just a tiny movement of her head, but it was a response. It was communication. The two girls walked toward the slide together, and Marcus made his way over to Sarah. Up close, she could see the kindness etched into every line of his face. "I'm sorry if I overstepped," he said. "I just saw something in her eyes that reminded me of Lily after her mom passed away. That lost look. That fear of letting the world back in." Sarah's voice shook when she spoke. "You didn't overstep. You just did what I've been trying to do for 2 years. How did you know what to say?" Marcus smiled sadly. "I didn't know. I just remembered what it felt like when everyone was trying to fix Lily instead of just being with her. Sometimes healing doesn't come from pushing. It comes from standing beside someone until they're ready to take that first step themselves." They stood together in silence, watching their daughters. And then it happened. The sound Sarah had been praying for, waiting for, dreaming about for 26 months. Emma laughed. It was small and rusty from disuse, but it was real and beautiful and absolutely perfect. And then, as Lily said something funny at the top of the slide, Emma's voice rang out clear as a bell, "Wait for me." Sarah's legs nearly gave out. She grabbed Marcus's arm to steady herself, tears streaming down her face. Marcus was grinning, his own eyes suspiciously bright. "There it is," he whispered. "There's her voice." Emma came running over, her face flushed with joy, and threw her arms around Sarah's waist. "Mama, did you see? I went down the big slide. And Lily says we can be best friends." The words tumbled out in a rush, 2 years of silence breaking like a dam. Sarah dropped to her knees and held her daughter, sobbing with relief and joy and gratitude. When she finally looked up at Marcus, she saw he had quietly stepped back, giving them space for their moment. Before he could walk away, Sarah called out, "Thank you. I don't know how to thank you enough." Marcus shook his head. "You don't need to thank me. Just remember this moment the next time you see someone struggling. Remember that sometimes the smallest act of kindness, just meeting someone where they are with compassion and patience, can change everything. That's all any of us can do. Show up with kindness and trust that it matters." As Sarah held her talking, laughing, finally present daughter, she realized that Marcus was right. She'd been so focused on fixing Emma that she'd forgotten the simple power of acceptance and gentle presence. A stranger in a playground had given them both an incredible gift, not through expertise or expense, but through pure human kindness. That day taught Sarah that kindness isn't always about grand gestures or perfect solutions. Sometimes it's just about showing up, being present, and offering your hand to someone who's forgotten how to reach out. And sometimes that's enough to change a life forever. In a world that often feels too busy, too harsh, too disconnected, we all have the power to be someone's Marcus. To be the person who sees beyond the surface, who offers compassion without judgment, who helps others find their voice again. Because kindness isn't just something we do. It's who we become when we choose to truly see each other. And that choice can create ripples of healing that extend far beyond anything we can imagine.